So yesterday, Sayadaw expounded according to the Satipatthana Pali, Parisambhita Metta Pali text about how to practice Satipatthana meditation based on the remarkable passage which is composed of only 8 characters. So Buddha Passati. In old days or in Buddha's time, for people they may easily understand this passage, but nowadays it can be too precise, maybe difficult to understand for people. So Buddha here means many things. So in brief, Buddha means what is happening or what really exists. So something is happening, that's why it's such exists. Without happening, then nothing can exist. So something happening or exists is called Buddha. What's really happening, what really exists. So what's that? What really exists is. So it's a need to know, a need to learn for all of us. And then another word is Buddha-do. Buddha-do means as they really are or as they really exist. So we have to observe what really exists as they really exist, as they really are. That's the meaning of the Buddha-do. For example, on the way we see the stone, so we need to know stone as stone, nothing else. Or sometimes swine or lump of swine or the gold. So we must know gold as gold, not anything else. So in the same way, we have to see what's really happening, what really exists. That's the meditative object to observe. That shows how to observe and what to observe. So this passage is composed of only 8 characters, but a very widespread meaning. It has very widespread meaning. So today, Sayadaw will continue to explain that remarkable passage. So practically, Buddha is composed of 2 parts. Buddha, what really exists, what we can really experience is 2 parts. The conceptual part and the ultimate part. In the beginning of the practice, of course, it's not almost impossible to see the ultimate part of the object. But when your practice becomes mature, you will be able to see the ultimate truth, ultimate phenomena beyond the conceptual form or shape. So in the beginning you may experience the form or shape or the object or the manner, how the object arises or passes away. So here in Pali, akara means the way the objects act or the way the objects move. So for example, when you go in The manner of going is called akara, or manner of standing, manner of lying down, reclining, or manner of sitting. These are all called akara. So rising, falling, the manner of the rising and falling. So in the beginning of the practice, you may experience these kinds of manner, or the form or shape of the abdomen regarding the physical object. So and then another things you may experience is the terms you use. So for example, when you are going, you supposed to use the term, English term, the going or walking or lifting, moving, dropping, rising, falling. So these conceptual terms are also necessary to use in the beginning of the practice, so that you can gain the precise awareness. So these conceptual terms must accord with the truth. That means in Pali that's called Tajja Peññati. Tajja Peññati means the conceptual term which accord to the truth. So in the beginning, of course, you end up with the observation of the form and the shape. But later, of course, you can see the phenomena like changing or tightness, movement and motion involved in the rising, falling of the abdomen, beyond the form and the shape of it. But in the beginning, you need to use the conceptual terms for precise awareness. So that means Bhutan. Buddha means what really exists. For example, the rising, falling of the abdomen. So rising is what's really happening. So you are supposed to see as it is. That means you need to note it as rising. So note the rising as rising. So in the same way with the falling, lifting, when you walking, lifting, moving, dropping, or bending your hand, or stretching your hand, or swaying your body, opening your eye, any types of the physical movement and the behavior are supposed to be noted. But in this case, the conceptual term you use must accord with the truth. For example, the abdomen rises, you note for falling. So the term you use is does not accord with the truth. So you must use the correct term. When rising, note it as rising, not falling. So that means you are observing the objects as it is, as they really are. According to the passage, Buddha, you see what really happening as they really are. You see what really exists as they really exist. So when you know rising, falling of the abdomen, first of all, you may see the form or shape or the manner of the abdomen, but in due course of time, you will definitely see the phenomena, physical phenomena involved in the rising, falling process, such as tension or tightness, vibration, movement, motion, and so on. So these are characteristics of the physical phenomena involved in the rising, falling process. So some yogis, when they are asked what they experience when they know the rising, falling of the abdomen. So their answer is not very clear, they quite quick. So Sayadaw sometimes asks, what you experience, is it the abdomen, form or shape, or the manner or the motion, or what else? Their answers sometimes big, not very exact. So the yogi are supposed to see the phenomena, physical phenomena, when they know the physical object like rising, falling, such as tension, tightness, vibration, which are characterized the air element, beyond the form and the shape. So that not that difficult, is quite simple, but of course in practically not that easy. You need to have two kinds of powers. That's as mentioned yesterday, you need to put the two kinds of mental powers so that you can penetrate into the real phenomena beyond the form and the shape. So as instructed by the teachers, you have to follow the correct method, and then you see the real phenomena beyond the form and the shape, arousing the inside knowledge, purifying your mind away from mental defilements, and then you become the pure person or noble person in Pali Ariya, and your quality of your life become upgraded. So if you follow that way, according to the instruction, so you should be honored as a real follower. So in the Pali text, the Buddha is defined as a five aggregates. So if we use here five aggregates, maybe it's a little bit confusing to you. So let's use the Nama and Rupa, mental and physical phenomena, in terms of instead of the five aggregates. Actually, five aggregates and the mind and the Nama, Rupa, mind and body are the same in true nature. So in brief, Buddha means mind and body, mental and physical phenomena. So we are instructed to observe mind as mind, body as body. So in terms of the conceptual term or daily language, we usually use the sitting, the terms like sitting, standing, bending, stretching, and so on. So all kinds of the physical behaviors should be noticed according to their nature and according to their form and shape. So the Buddha door means as they really are. So the Buddha door, by the words Buddha door, it shows the how to observe and what to observe, and how to use, what type of terms we use for the objects. So if we observe carefully, we can see the phenomena arising according to the cause, according to the law of cause and effect. So for example, rising, falling, they have their own corresponding causes. For example, rising, because of in-breath, rising takes place. So in-breath result in rising manner. So the cause and effect is there. So if we note it carefully, we can see the rising process. We can feel it as a tension and tightness and vibration and so on. These phenomena are what we can directly experience. What really happening, what we can directly experience, called in Pali, Atta Pachaka. We can experience directly. So nobody else say about that, or no teacher or no one else. We ourselves can experience the phenomena. So the rising is under the law of cause and effect. In breath, result in rising process. So because of in-breath, rising takes place. If we pay attention to that, we can experience it clearly. So similarly with the rest phenomena, so if we pay attention and note it, we can experience real phenomena. So as an example, let's take the food. So every food has their own taste. If we enjoy the food carefully, and then we can enjoy the taste. If we eat sweety food, we can have sweet taste. If we eat the lemon lime, we can have the sour taste. And if we eat spice or chili, we can eat the hot taste. And salty and bitter, according to their taste, we can experience, we can feel their individual taste or the individual food. So every food has its own taste. Maybe some food they have more than one taste. So in the same way, if we note an object, we can experience its true nature like the taste. For example, rising, falling. If we note it carefully, and we can have the taste of the phenomena. So when our concentration and mindfulness and energy gets strong, we can see real taste of the phenomena beyond the form and shape. Just like eating the food, if your mind is restless, going somewhere else, your attention is drawn to somewhere else, then even though although you are chewing, eating, you may not appreciate the taste of the food. In the same way, when you note an object, you don't put certain amount of energy and don't make effort, certain amount of effort, and then you cannot enjoy the taste of the object or taste of the phenomena. So it is very important for all of us to put certain amount of the mental power so that we can enjoy the real taste of the phenomena. What type of mental power we need to experience those tastes or the phenomena? So here, the late Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw, he gave a motto for all of us to learn how to practice easily and simply. The motto is note the moment the object takes place. We should note an object the moment it takes place. That's the formula. very precise formula given by Mahasi Sayadaw. So, for example, the rising. So we must know rising the moment it takes place. We should know falling the moment it takes place. We should know bending, stretching, when walking, lifting, moving, dropping, and so on. We must note the an object the moment it takes place. So that's a very important point. So the moment it takes place, that doesn't mean not the past or future. So that actually means the present object. So just like the lightning striking in the sky at night. So if you observe it, the moment it strikes, the lightning strikes, you can see the real lightning. You can see the lightning get off the darkness, the function of the lightning. And then you can see how the lightning appear and disappear, the manifestation of the lightning. So to see what lightning is, the real characteristic of lightning and its real function and its manifestation, all you need to do is just to see it the moment it strikes. If you are thinking, analyzing, reasoning, judging what lightning is, how it is, then you will be too late. That's a waste of time. So you must note an object the moment it takes place with the full energy, with the full attention. So here two major powers, energies are very important, plays the most important role in your practice. First of all, aiming. You must aim correctly at the correct object. And you must, just aiming is not enough to hit the target, so you must put certain amount of the energy in the practice so that you can hit the object. So these two energies are necessary to experience the real phenomena. Thanks to these two energies, you can reach the objects. You can experience the real phenomena beyond the form and shape. So here the jhanic factors can be found. So upanijjhana, the word mentioned in the Pali text. Upa means closely. Nijjhana means fully focused. So you have to focus your mind on the object, fully focused. So that's translated into the aiming. So aim at the object with the full attention. That type of mental factor is called vitakka. The aiming at the object with the full attention. So if your mind is fully focused, if your mind is aimed at the object with the full attention, your mind is stable, tranquil, fresh, and alert, active. Then there's no room for laziness, sloth and torpor. So this aiming, attention, focusing on the object, counteract laziness, hesitation, powerlessness of the mind. So whatever object it may be, if any object occurs to you, you must be fully focused on that. You must aim your mind on that object then you can overcome the laziness. So the laziness, thought and thought, and aiming, they are direct opposite, diametrically opposite. So by aiming at the object with a full attention, your mind become alert and fresh, no longer lazy and no longer weary. So become alert and fresh, active, and there's no room for laziness. So another energy is viriya, effort. You have to make certain amount of the effort and energy so that you can counter the laziness too. So vitakka, right aiming, is defeat or overcome the laziness or counteract laziness, and viriya can stop laziness from rising. So as a result of these two mental powers, your mind will become alert. So if you pay attention to the object, aiming at the present object, that's the nature of the jhana, the type of jhanic characteristic. And then you overcome the laziness, and you become alert and active. So that's your mind is free from the unwholesome thoughts, unwholesome intention, such as the karma vitakka, the thoughts of the sensual pleasure or intention of sensual pleasure. You want to enjoy the seeing, the beauty, or you want to enjoy the hearing, the sweet sound and smell, taste, and so on. These are thinking of those sensual pleasure is called karma vitakka. And another unwholesome intention or thought is vihangsa vitakka or vyavada vitakka. That means you want to the thought of evil. And then the last one is the vihangsa vitakka, the thought of harmfulness. So these are evil, unwholesome intention or thoughts. So through the power of the right aiming, your mind is focused on a meditative object, then spontaneously you can stop these evil thoughts from arising. So the aiming, the jhana counteract the evil thoughts by its own nature. So through the energy, your mind is become alert and fresh. The energy, effort makes your mind active and alert. So no longer cool and no longer inactive. And your mind become warm and active. So there will be no room or no chance for laziness in due course of the effort and energy you made. And also no chance for the others' mental defilements to follow. So in this way you can block the stream of the mental defilements, the stream of the lobha, craving stream, aversion stream, and so on. All kinds of the mental aversion, mental defilements, their stream will be blocked by the two kinds of the energy. And then at the same time, you channel the wholesome stream, and thus your mind is become tranquil and stable, and you develop the mindfulness, and you start to see the real phenomena, and you can develop the insight into the real phenomena. So for today's time is up. So Sayadaw will continue tomorrow this Dhamma talk. Sadhu, sadhu.